morning and welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. I'm Debbie G, and we're getting ready to have an incredible conversation with Janet Moore all about awakened dating. And if you're in that dating world out there and you have some questions, we've got the answers. So stay tuned, share this out because we're going to have some fun today.
It's like a mystery to me. The sky is falling and I'm wondering why. So many days and nights have passed me by without you standing here. There's nothing left for me to see. Forever comes and forever goes, but where it stops I'll never know. Stay a little while, there's nowhere we have to be. Cause I don't need to know right now. There's no one left beside me anyhow. Stay a little while, there's no one meant for you but me. Oh yeah. Sometimes I wish that I could fly away when the night is cold and I don't want to stay. I need to understand, the mystery is clear. So stay a while and hold out your hand. I do believe, I believe that soon I'll understand the way you move me. There's nothing left for me to fear. Forever comes and forever goes, but where it stops I'll never know, never know. But stay a little while, there's nowhere we have to be. Cause I don't need to know right now. There's no one left beside me anyhow. Stay a little while, there's no one meant for you but me. There's no one, no one. Oh, 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 yeah. I don't know how you move me so. I don't know why I need to know, but what I'm feeling now is like a mystery to me. Stay a little while. There's no one meant for you but me.
Stay a little while. There's no one meant for you but me. I mean, and here's what I dig about that song by James Twyman. I always get this vibe of like, here I'm gonna bring us both up. I always get this vibe like, uh, if I was sitting there singing to myself during my self-love moments and affirmations, Janet, you know what I'm talking about? And I
Mhm.
was just, no one meant for you but me, but also feeling into that God source energy that comes through. A lot of y'all are looking at it like it's a love song, and it is a love song. I just like to look at it, how does that feed my heart that I can now give it to your heart, you know? So I just, isn't that a bitchin' song?
Oh, I love that song. I was just gonna say, wow, what an amazing song.
Seriously, right? And what a perfect song to lead into Awaken Dating. The song was actually written during a time when he was in relationship or seeking a relationship many, 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 many moons ago. So it's kind of cool. So Miss Janet, welcome back. Time for
Yeah,
a cup
thank
of
you.
grata with a
I
shot of
know. Thank you.
expression,
What's
two
up?
squirts of reality. Hi, hi, co-squirt.
Hey, thanks for having me back. I'm so excited. Lots of changes since I was here last. So
I
pretty
totally. There's been so many changes. Oh my God, we haven't even had a chance to really catch up and talk. So
Mhm.
all right. Let's first get into you all. She's an awakened dating coach. What do you think that means? You help people do a lot of really cool stuff when it comes to dating. And if you have an online dating profile, if you're a guy and you've been more of a geeky kind of, geek, if you're a girl and you've been a little bit more and you haven't really stepped out into the whole world of dating before, or whatever the case, maybe you have. Maybe you're just sucking at it and you need some help. Well, Janet's going to help you.
Yeah, so I guess awaken dating. Sorry. Yeah, so to me, awakened dating is like, so I used to be the geek whisperer, right? As you can see on my geek stuff in the back here. But I kind of switched over to being awakened dating because I'm kind of being, well, I'm being going back to who, not back, but well, I guess you could say back in a way, right? That's spiritual people. But it's like remembering who I am, being in alignment with my true self. So I'm very spiritual, and I realized that that's what I want to do. I want to start serving spiritual singles. So that's what I switched to, from tech guys to spiritual people.
I love this.
So I can still, help the geeks. I'm not saying or the tech people, but it's just because I will always be a tech girl, but I'm also very spiritual. So that's when it's also about people that are, when I say awakened, it's not, what's going on in the world is kind of it's like a spiritual war going on out there. And to me, it's like we're waking up to remembering who we truly are,
Mhm.
and what's going on around us in the world today, and realizing we need to tap into love and not fear. So
Mhm.
that's kind of what to me it's all about. And us coming together where we can come to a safe place to meet like-minded singles. So like, when you go on dates with some regular guys,
Okay, well, why is it
yes, good.
wow, what is that sound? Sorry guys, there's some feedback. What is like-minded? Why is this important?
Well, okay, actually I came up with a new word. Let me turn it down a little bit. Like-hearted. So like-minded,
Mm.
like-hearted. I just thought that was a better word. Like-hearted. Actually, Valerie Reynolds came up with that one.
That's actually really good. I like that. You guys, how do you feel about that one? Meeting somebody and you're like-hearted.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah. So like-minded, like-hearted, kind of similar, but like-hearted as in you. Well, love. You're about all about love. You're about wanting the best for the world. You're wanting to be back to remembering who you are, which is love, and all that kind of good stuff. So that's kind of what I mean by that. So, when you go on dates, with people that are not spiritual, it's just, if you
Really
start
hard.
talking about your spirituality, what you believe, they kind of look at you like you're kind of whacked out, like you're a woo-woo weirdo or something. And it's like,
Totally.
no, we're not aware. We know what's going, we know, maybe you don't. That's okay. You're a spiritual baby. It's okay. But
Yeah.
it's like they look at us kind of weird, and then we feel like we can't really be ourselves. So that's kind of why I created this. Now, Awaken Dating actually created this years ago. Actually, if you see this, this is a stack of my business cards I created like years ago. Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are totally cute.
And they're round and they're fun. And then
Uh-huh.
I created these like 10, 11 years ago, not kidding. And because I created Awaken Dating as a community to help people, like I said, of like-hearted people to come together. And then I had to go take care of my daughter, and then I became the Geek Whisperer, and then kind of got all, went this way, went that way.
Yeah.
Now I'm back. So it's really exciting to be back.
I love this actually. So because look, I am absolutely 100% in alignment with that. The fact that trying to even consider dating when you're not in a spiritual alignment it's impossible because you're not in alignment.
Yes.
And so one of the things that you said was that you would have these dates and you'd have these conversations and you felt like you couldn't be yourself. I actually have stepped into I'm going to be myself no matter what. Do you think that was your own because you felt uncomfortable, you were afraid of how that they might look at you? Or was that just because it's like there's no point, they're just not going to get this? I've been in both places.
Well, I call myself Wizzy, but I always being myself personally. That's who I am now. Like when I was younger, I might not have been that way, but now I'm that way. But it's just like, I just felt like there's, I've been on spiritual dating sites, but still, they're not necessarily believe the same thing. I don't know. I just felt like I needed a place, a community of people where we could really work, get to know each other better. I don't know. I'm trying to think how to say this. It's like I've never been afraid to say what I am or what I do, but it's just they look at you weird, and then you're like, yeah, this isn't going to work. So I mean, I don't necessarily continue dating them anymore. But
Right.
the point is,
Yeah, no, that probably
start
won't work.
meeting people that are of like heart, like mine, right? So that's why I created this
So I love this.
as a community, as
I
opposed
love
to a
you.
dating site.
I could just like reach through and hug you right now because this is so dang necessary, everybody. Having a community and having a place where you can explore these things that are happening that are coming up in your life where it comes to relating, communicating, what your attachment styles are, who are you really attracting, who do you really want to attract, getting really set okay, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, and am I willing to show up and be that I'm seeking? Those are the things, and that's what this community is all about. Awaken Dating is seriously, it's online. You guys go to Facebook and join the group Awaken Dating. This is so much fun. Whether or not, even if you're single and you're not, and you're thinking, okay, I don't really want to date, it's still a really good idea. Because let me tell you, Janet, you know what I did for years? I just stayed single and studied communication. That's all I did.
Oh.
So that person out there that's joining Awaken Dating may be in that space that they've chosen to be single.
Right.
It's still a really great place to be, and the reason why is because you learn how to connect and communicate on the same level. So the whole idea here is you're looking to meet like-hearted. That's just so dang cute.
I wish I could have said I came up with it, but I didn't. Victoria came up with it. It's amazing. I love it.
Okay, I love this. Okay, so let's talk about the dating life. What's been going on, and give me a good story. I want to hear a story. What has happened, and how have you dealt with it?
Well, so one thing we were talking about this earlier about men like being the masculine man, like taking charge.
Yeah.
And like the differences between men that take charge and men that don't take charge, right? So, and how I don't know how spiritual this is, but like being you're true to yourself, being the man. Like I think I think society today has taken like stripped men of their masculinity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take it away from them, and then making us women have to be the ones, rah rah rah. We're be the leaders and in charge when we really want the man to be the masculine one, the one that kind of takes charge. And not that we don't, become completely submissive, but we like surrender to that masculine leadership and role. And it's like when they become that, it's like then you can fall into the femininity. Your feminine, you know, it's like we
Okay.
don't get that us being the feminine, the powerful divine feminine allows we actually have more power than we think with our femininity than actually trying to be the masculine in charge woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the thing is when men can start taking charge, then that allows us to if they start taking allows us to fall in our femininity really nicely. And then we have this nice, like that yin and yang sign, right? And it fits in nicely. So one thing that I wanted to talk about, this one guy I went on a date with, I was kind of like, he wasn't, and I knew at the beginning he wasn't somebody I wanted to date because we didn't hardly have anything in common. He was dead set on meeting me, and he was a nice guy. He was. So I met him.
Yeah.
And the thing that impressed me though was he goes, "When are you free? Tuesday or Wednesday?" I said, "Tuesday." And then he said, "What part of town do you live in?" And I told him, what part of town, Northwest Austin. And then the next text I got from him was 8 o'clock at this restaurant on Tuesday. And I was like, damn. Oh, sorry. What? Sorry. I was like, wow, that was like he just took charge. And it made me immediately like go, wow, this guy has it together and he's taking charge. He's being the guy, And so it was just very impressive. So that masculinity, like taking the charge thing, made me go, ooh, I like that. He's taking care of me. I feel like he's taking care of me, right? Instead of me, a lot of guys always ask me, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I like this kind of food, asking questions like he asked me, he tried to find out kind of making it convenient and something I would like to do, right?
Yeah.
So he asked me questions and then picked something that he thought I would like. And of course, if I didn't like it, I could have said so, right? But it was perfect, actually.
Wow.
So, we don't live in the same city, that's fine. But I'm just saying for men that do live in the same city, I know I've in the past, like, got men that have asked me, well, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And I'm like, so taking charge, making things happen, Another thing that he did that I thought was kind of cool was we were just walking along and I was showing the squinch face, squinch face. And that's a whole.
I don't know. Okay, wait, hold tight, everybody. What's a squinchy?
A squinch face. So there's this. I came across this guy, and he's on YouTube. I can't remember his name, Peter or something, but he's a photographer. He's an incredible photographer. He does portraits mostly, or people pictures, I guess. And he has something called the squinch face. So normally you smile like this. That the squinch face is like, or like like this, as opposed to like this.
Oh, the squinch face is the I want to you. That's what it is.
It's a
That's
come hither.
it's a
Or
come
like
hither. Yeah. It's a seductive, like y'all know what's up.
like a
So you don't want to do that.
smokiness.
Yeah. Okay, so that's funny. All right, so you put on squinch face or he put on squinch face?
Oh, I was talking about the squinch face. Because he was actually wanting to be a dating coach too, which was kind of pretty cool.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, what? So I was talking about the squinch face.
Yeah.
And then I realized that, like, because I've been teaching a flirting, confidence connecting class for years, over 15 years, off and on. And when I saw the squinch face, then I started teaching it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what I do when I flirt with people. Because I teach looking and smiling, right? But then I realized actually I do a squinch face, and so I had him walk by me. I said, okay, walk by me. I'll show you. This is my normal happy face. And then he walked by me. Okay, and this is my squinch face. And then I gave him the, and he's like, see the difference? It's same face, but the eyes, and then the head movement and stuff like that. He goes, yeah, I can totally see the difference. And then he just came up there and just kissed me. And it was like, yes. I don't know. It was like, and
You mean he didn't ask you?
No, I don't believe in asking personally for kissing.
Just saying.
That's my personal opinion.
I love that.
Because
Go
here's
ahead.
the thing. For a man, so for guys you're listening in, if a girl doesn't want to kiss you, she will back away. She'll go like this, like or kind of push you away, or turn the head or whatever. So she'll let you know. If she does that, then of course back off. Totally, that means no, back off.
Yeah.
You got to read some body language here. But if you feel like there's something kind of fun by going in, go in for the kiss. And if she pushes you away or whatever, then fine. But a lot of people say, "Oh, I never kiss on the first date." It's like, well, personally, I'm a big kisser. I love to kiss. So personally, I don't want to date a guy that can't kiss. That's just me. So I like to lean in or let's see how it goes. That's my personal thing I like to do. But he did, and it was really great. And he grabbed my hand and we started walking. And so I just like that he took charge, and it made me like him, even connect to him more because he let me be a woman. You and I both, Debbie and I, are very strong women. We're very independent. We're very, so we tend to be, I don't know about you, but I'll talk about myself, maybe a little more masculine than most women. And because, single mom and all this stuff, having to kind of be the man, be the everything.
Right.
My family, be the breadwinner, be the geek, whatever, I can be that way. So it's nice to not have to be that. Right?
Yeah, totally.
And be the woman, the goddess is, be a goddess or whatever.
That's right.
So
Totally. I love that. You're 100% correct. There's that part of that, but queens are looking for that king that knows how to do that without overstepping the energy, without trying to be a caveman, and let's make sure that they're clear on that. We're not looking for cavemen. Oh, no, oh. I mean, come, no.
Yeah, drag you by the hair, no.
Yeah, no, that's not it. No, there has to be a balance, and we were talking about there has to be there's a balance. I think there's a dance in this whole thing, but you're so on point. That's great. I love that. So Wendy says that she's single by choice after 3 husbands, and single is for you. So Wendy, I love you. How you doing, girl? You're one of the perfect people to join Awaken Dating, not because you're dating, just because it's community and everybody is single, and it's a really good place to connect. See, one of the things I know about being single is sometimes it can feel really lonely, or it could feel like everybody's scamming each other, so you really don't want to be in that group, and that's not what it's about. So if you're looking for a deeper connection, then that's seriously what I suggest you do. And in fact, I'll post a link again really quickly so you guys can all join in. Joe says, hold on, he's writing stuff down.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, Joe, that's very cool. Very cool. Joe and I were having dinner last night, and we were talking about a lot of things that come up in communicating, or come up in when when you are even considering dating a person. And I'm at this space where communication is everything. So I make a point to be as real as possible, but I think that I am definitely still in that stronger, I'm Miss Single Independent person still.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. When you've been it for so damn long, it's pretty hard to shift. And I don't know that I even want to shift it. So that's the whole thing. I don't know what I want to do, and I'll figure it out later. But communicating that with anybody is important, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, so let's go back to this guy. So you did kiss him. You did kiss him.
Yeah, he's really good too. It's been a while, so it's nice. But well, I want to go back to the woman. What was her name? Like your friend?
Back to Ellie is the same way. Hi Ellie, what's up, honey? She's been single a long time. She's okay with it. Wendy, she's single by choice after 3
Wendy.
husbands.
Yeah.
Joe is single. I mean, we've been out to dinner and stuff, and we're discussing things, but we're just kind of like hanging out. And he's a really cool guy. But you're single too, Joe, and so is no, Kathy is not. But say hi, good morning, Kathy. I love you. So, yes, single for a long time.
So, so one thing I was going to say is one thing about awakened dating too is if you say wake up to who you truly are.
Yeah.
So really, maybe coming to like exploring, being in the inquiry of who am I? Who is this person? Maybe
Yeah,
look
yeah,
at the patterns. You probably have some patterns there. Three, you said three husbands, so some patterns. I mean, all of us have patterns, okay? But kind of
yeah.
distinguishing your patterns, recognizing your patterns, and then being able to then stop the pattern, like distinguishing the pattern even. Like in fact, my last live stream in Awakened Dating was about release and let go, and it was about looking at your patterns, how to identify your patterns, so that you can let it, so that you can stop
Totally.
the doing the same thing over again thing, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so that's, I can talk about that now here as well, but once you identify your patterns, so that's part of it, like waking up to who you are, like waking up, like being conscious, like what do I do, this thing I do all the time, maybe if I even knew, maybe I could stop, or at least you're aware of it, and then you can make it, you can choose, right?
Mhm.
So that's the first step. Then after you see that, what's really exciting, and I said this in the live stream, is forgive the people, the past husbands, the past exes, whatever, and then forgive yourself too. So those are the two big things, right? Then
Mm.
you can move forward. So kind of releasing, letting go, right? Let it all go. Move on.
Uh-huh.
Forgive yourself, love yourself, forgive yourself, and then you start creating and creating what you really want. A lot of people think, oh, I've done it 3 times, I can't do it again, or I've done it 4 times, and whatever, how many times, it's not possible. It's just not going to work for me. And I say, well, if you keep saying that, it's probably going to happen. That's probably going to be true. But if you start realizing, because part of it's like taking responsibility, not blame, but what's really great is when you get that you did that pattern, you did those things, you
Mhm.
allow those things, like the boundaries we were talking about, and you allow those things to happen, there's
Yep.
great power there. There's so much power, and that you did it. You allowed it, and you can do something different now because you see your pattern that you do,
Yep.
what you do. Now you're like, okay, stopping that. Now what do I want to create from nothing? What am I going to do now? Now it might be tricky to start from nothing but that's what part of the releasing, letting go is all about. And then waking up to who you truly are, so that you can attract your like-hearted match or partner.
Be- because you need to fall in love with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You need to
And
fall in love with yourself. Everybody hear me. Because
yes.
you need to fall in love with yourself. You need to love you. Waking up to who you truly are. Remembering who you are. What a big deal.
We are really, all we are is really love. If we just can remember.
Yeah, right?
And then there's some fun stuff to do in the meantime too.
Well, there is
you
some
know,
fun stuff. Yeah, let's talk about that fun stuff we could do in the meantime. But I will tell you, I want to add just a tad bit on to what you were saying, and just because as I was listening to you, I thought, okay, because what I'm hearing you say is, you really want to release and let go. You want to forgive, and you want to forgive yourself. Well, I want to add to that. I want to be in total appreciation and gratitude for the person that I have looked at as a negative in my life, because of the fact that, is that really true today? Am I going to live on that old story bullshit that I'm blaming them for something, or am I going to step into appreciation and not be in a victim mode and say, you know what? And look, I've had abusive exes. I have had it all. I've been in battered women's shelters. I am not even, when I tell y'all like what I have to say, before y'all start going, oh my God, but you don't know. Oh hell, I don't know. I do. I do know. And when I can sit and be the one to tell you to not, is she right? Hell yes, let it go. When you accept, then you can allow and appreciate. You can step into accept when you have to accept what's happened in your life. These are the things that keep us held back. It's because we're attached to an old story, a story that worked for us for years and years to keep us in the space that we were in. And it wasn't until I started breaking my old story that I started meeting people of substance that are worth spending my time with. And you know what? I had this conversation last night about doing things differently, about making choices, about knowing that I am intentionally making a choice based upon what's best right now, what's in my best and highest good. That could change in a nanosecond, by the way. So that's what I wanted to add to that. And I
Yeah.
love that Neo says, I love this, that it's a huge part of success. Yes, you're darn right, Neo. Remembering who you are. And Ellie says, yeah, Ellie does. Ellie's been
Yeah,
through,
don't settle.
yeah, this girl, she's a rock star. Let me tell you, she's an inspiration. And Wendy, a divorced, two hubs, one passed on. Independent. Yep, that's what we do. That's what we do. But do you think that it affects the ability to trust sometimes when you have been in relationship and connections that have not been that have been difficult, even if we can appreciate it at one time, we were not doing that. So the trust factor gets tackled in. And so how do you deal with things when you're just like, I just don't know if I can trust this person? Where do you think that comes from?
Well, it really comes from trusting yourself, I say. Um, it's really not about the other person. It's about you trusting yourself that you know, and
Yeah.
keeping within your boundaries.
Yeah.
Because if you really look at, people are going to do what they do, and then you either allow it to happen or you get out.
Yeah.
And I know there's reasons why people don't. I'm not saying, I have compassion for that. I'm just saying that's what is so, right?
Stand up.
Kind of going back to what you said about gratitude and the victim and not being the victim. And that's what you want to shift that, like letting go, forgiving yourself. Like I said, not only forgiving them, but forgiving you. I have something called your lucky me list. It's which one, like a gratitude list, but like lucky me list. So you look at your life and how lucky you are already and what you want. And then also looking back on these relationships and going, what really worked? What didn't work? What did work? And then adding that to your list, like your list of what you want in a person. Because you should have a list. I know people probably do, but like create your list and add to it every time you have a new relationship. Okay. And don't put what you don't want. Always flip it around. Like if somebody isn't like is a drug person or doesn't eat healthy or whatever, don't say, I don't want a drug addict. So no, because the universe doesn't understand don't, right? Just see drug addict. So I want a drug addict. I don't want a drug addict. He's drug addict. So, but I want a person that lives a healthy lifestyle or eats healthy food or whatever. You want to flip it on the positive every time, and that's great. Abraham Hicks talks about contrast. Sometimes the whole reason we're in a relationship is to get the contrast of what we do and don't want, so we can further define what we do really want.
Damn, I think that's on point.
I think a lot of reasons why people don't have successful relationships is because they just kind of go around and just meet and, oh, she's kind of cute, he's kind of nice, and I'll date him. I've been guilty of that, instead of really knowing who you are and knowing what you really want in a partner, right?
Right.
First, you got to know yourself, love yourself,
Yeah.
and then you got to start thinking, well, what do I want? A lot of times, personally, I want someone like me, and some differences, obviously. I don't want exactly like me. I want to have, like, we're going the same direction. We have the same kind of goals. We have the same beliefs and values,
Big.
Mm-hmm. And so going back to trusting yourself. So if you got to really release the past. When I say release the past, I mean really, like, let it go. You learn from it, but you don't have to be wary. Like a case in instance, this one friend of mine, he is living, so he got divorced about 2.5 years ago after about 26 years of marriage. And they had a business together, and I guess she took some money, when they got divorced, and I guess he was upset about it. I'm not saying whether or not she should or shouldn't. I don't know all the details. But the point is, he's very angry about it still, after 2.5 years. And he's so angry about it. He's living his life to make sure that never happens again. And he will fail over and over and over because he is so worried about the state taking his money. He's going to make sure that the relationship he has with a woman, it has to be a certain way. We can't actually have a ceremony, even if we don't legally get married, because then they will say we're married. And then, oh, we have to have separate houses. We can't actually live together in one house. And it is like his whole life has been to make sure that this won't happen. Guess what's going to happen if he's making sure something won't happen?
It's going to happen.
Freaking happen. So, because you're focusing on it.
Totally.
So focus on what you want, not what you don't want, or worried about something going to happen. You learn, I guess, you learn from things, and then you put them in your, these are my boundaries. These are the things I must have. These are the things I really want, right? And then trust yourself, and maybe even get some friends, enroll your friends in helping you. Say, I have this pattern. Maybe get your friends to help you with the pattern. One of the things I say to help you distinguish your patterns is to actually go ask your friends and family. Hey, do you see if I have a dating pattern or a relationship pattern? They probably know.
Well, they do. They do, don't they?
Yeah, it's like you sit in a box, and written all over around the box is all the things that that you do. Let's say in relationships for this particular instance. Everybody else can see what's written on the box, but you can't see what's written on the box.
Yeah.
But they know. Now, maybe that they don't know, and they're not willing to tell you because they're afraid you're like get mad at them or something. Another thing you can do is just actually sit with a good friend and just walk through your relationships, your last like 5 relationships. Talk about how they went and what happened, and then you'll probably see for yourself, and maybe they will too, but you'll probably see for yourself the patterns. Of course, you can hire a coach like me. I'll probably check them out in about 10 minutes. I'll tell you what they are. But I'm saying that's something you can do on your own as well.
Yep.
And then once you know your patterns, then you can go, oh my gosh, I do that thing.
Right.
I meet a guy, he's really nice, and he dotes on me, and he's really good, and whatever. And so I date him anyways, not doing that anymore. But you can start seeing some of your patterns that you have. And then you go, okay, not doing that anymore. So what do you do? Well, maybe you get to know them a little bit longer than you used to. Maybe you rush into relationships, or maybe you bring the first relationship that whatever happened into each relationship, and that's why it's not working, because you never let go of that first one. I don't know what your patterns are, but if you can start looking and distinguishing your patterns, then, and again, it's like you taking charge instead of you thinking, oh, I can't trust that person. No, trust you that you know. Another thing I always say is trust your gut. You always know if you really look at each of those relationships that you've been in.
Yeah.
You know from the beginning. Come
on. Okay. I got a little bit of feedback, but that's okay. So my point is, if we act on our guts, if we act and it's not easy. I'm not saying it's simple. It's not easy, right? We can see it, and then but we really want that, whatever. We really don't want to be alone. All those things. But what's really great about each of those people that said they're happy being alone, they feel they love themselves. That's an awesome place to be. That's where you want to be when you're starting a relationship. Totally. Yeah, 2 wonderful, really healthy, happy people coming together. That's what you really want, right? So that's what I feel like dating is having these people that are ready, that are wanting to find that like-hearted person. Because I think we're meant to kind of be connected. Personally, I think you're 100% right. Now, I want to say that I when she's talking about patterns, I'm going to share an old pattern of mine and I want to give confirmation on what Janet has said here. I know that my old pattern in dating was if I met somebody I was into, to jump into a relationship. Bam. They become the center of my world. Their texts, everything, all of this, and everything becomes about them. I get distracted. The whole thing, it interrupts my entire life. And I decided that no longer works for me. And there is no way I'm going to do that. So I'm on the complete end of the scale now. I'm on the
Ah,
I'm moving slow as molasses in the dead of winter, and if you don't like it, tough shit kind of thing. Because I'm not willing to step into another relationship that I'm not 100% certain that that's what I want to be in. Or and here's what I also know. When I jumped into relationship before, I didn't know this person from anybody, and here I am a month later and we're completely integrated, right? And this is in the past, you guys. And I lose my sense of self, the
yeah.
sense of who I am. And that's another thing that I'm not willing to do now at this point in my life, is to lose my sense of self based upon my attraction for another human being. You know how unfair it is to put somebody else's happiness on your shoulders? How unfair is that to you? How unfair is it for somebody else to think
And
that
that,
you are supposed to make them happy? That's some shit. I tell people straight up, look at, if you're waiting for me to make you happy, you're going to be a sad fucking pooch, cuz I, I am not going to be that person. We accentuate. We're like accessories, you guys. We accentuate
here we
each
come
other.
together.
Yeah, we come
Not
together,
like, oh,
No, it's not like that. So seriously, it's this is but what you I love you guys enough to be honest, and so does Janet. The trust issues you have are on you. Everything is actually self-responsibility. And somebody said, well, what if this person pisses you off? That's a you thing. Hello? This is trust and in coming the reason that it Wendy, you're killing me.
what'd she say? Yes,
Well,
totally. Totally
let's be
agree with that
let,
100%.
let's be fair. Let's be fair. Babysitting men, women
It could
babysitting
be the
men,
same for men.
men babysitting women.
Yeah.
It's yeah, especially if you've got somebody who's seriously, earnestly a nice person. That's another thing too. Have you ever to have past experiences and you get triggered when you meet somebody new? This happened, Janet. I want you to elaborate on this. I got a text that said something that in my past somebody would have said, and I would have taken it would have been a derogatory trigger, right? Rather than me, you guys are going to love this. Rather than I reacted, rather than respond, I sat with it for a minute and said, why is that bugging me? I got curious. Why is that bugging me?
Mhm.
Oh, because it was part of my old story. Is it true right now? No. Consider the person sending it. What do you think their intention was? Probably really good. Okay. It took a minute, like it was a nanosecond actually. It's like 5 or 6 seconds of this. Oh, got it. And there was no response necessary. None. But when you are actually meeting people and you're feeling that trigger, what happens from those old patterns? What comes up and how do you deal with it, Janet?
Well, yeah, kind of what you said. I mean, I don't know, each pattern is different, but to look like, I would say something like, when you see something happening, you see yourself reacting, what's going to happen? You're going to react, and then you're going to, oh my God, I just made a big mess.
Yeah.
So this first step is to clean it up and take responsibility for it and clean up the mess that you just made. Say, oh my gosh, I just realized I was triggered by something from my past and I just blah'd all over you. I just vomited all over you. I'm so sorry. I apologize. And take responsibility for that. Clean it up. That's the first step. Over time, it's like a muscle. It's like you're going to distinguish that, like the thing that triggers you.
Yeah.
You need to maybe go back and release it and let it go, or whatever you need to do to be done with that trigger. But doesn't mean it's going to be not always natural. So like, I know when I first, I did the personal growth that I did originally was Landmark. And I know that there were certain things I would be like feeling like a victim when certain people said certain things. And the
Yeah.
person would just react, "Rah," and then I would go, oh, whoops, and then I'd clean it up. And then over time, I would about to react, notice it and go, oh, and I would just stop, you know. And then
Yeah.
eventually it got to be where it just went away, you know. And there's not that many triggers I have. My daughter triggers me very easily somehow. So,
So yeah,
everybody else, I don't. I seem to be able to be okay with most people.
except okay, that's so real right there. Anybody get triggered by their kids? Ooh, doggy. Let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you.
But so that's kind of like that. It's like building that muscle, and then eventually
Yeah.
over time, it's just gonna go. It's just gonna you're gonna be the person that doesn't react to that anymore because it's kind of like Joe Dispenza talks about rewiring your brain.
Yeah.
It's gonna have new synapses, so you can just. I'm not again. It's simple but not easy, right? And it takes effort. It takes willingness to go. Oh, there I do that thing I do. You might even say, "Oh my God, I just did that thing I did. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to stop that. Can you help me when I
Yeah.
do this?" And enroll your friends and your family. Hey, when I do this next time, can you please hopefully there's not going to be next time. My commitment is I'm not going to do that again, but I'm not saying I wouldn't. Can you please say like a code word or something, or just tell me, hey, you did that thing again, remember? Oh gosh, so sorry.
Yep.
Over time you can just keep getting better and better. But yeah, I like recognizing, but cleaning it up
Totally.
to create connection back again. So
Yeah.
so that's what I would say on that one. Just as a generality.
I think that's actually fabulous. I think that's perfect. Good morning, Saf Buxy. Saf Buxy, y'all, his book was just released, Out of the Madness. Please go onto Amazon and get it. Our very own Saf Buxy. If you guys missed his show yesterday, go check it out because it's really cool. No, that wasn't yesterday. I'm off by a day. That was on Tuesday. Love you.
Okay.
We love our Safi. Okay, so let's just go into the challenge. There's two things we want to talk about. One is the spirit of abundance that's going to be coming out, and Janet is one of our speakers for the spirit of abundance. You will see that out hopefully by the end of today. If not, it'll be tomorrow, and you guys can all sign up, and it is free. Saf Buxy is also going to be in the spirit of abundance along with a ton of other incredible freaking people. So that's coming. However, in the meantime, there's a big challenge that's happening in the awakened dating world, and we're about to give it to you.
Yes. So, in Awaken Dating, I'm having a challenge. It's an online dating profile challenge. I'll be having challenges or master classes, free master classes and challenges, about every 6 weeks or so in the group. So this is by the way, I just recently, like I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, just started this new group. By the way, so it's very exciting. It's growing really. It's just like what I was supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Compared to my others, I'm not even doing anything, and it's just growing. So it's really exciting. So we're having a challenge next week. It's an online dating profile challenge. How to make it magnetic, So talk the same principles that we talked about. It's all about awakened dating, right? So getting clear on who you are, and then getting clear on the kind of person you want to be with based on that, and then coming up with an actual game plan to basically upgrade how you want to go, whatever call it, tweak your online dating profile. So we were talking about your pictures, what you're going to say in there, the overall energy, kind of mindset stuff, all kinds of stuff. So that's starting next Monday at 8 o'clock Central Time, so we can get everybody in. Different time zones in America. It's kind of funny. Awaken Dating is actually now international. I have people in UK. I think I saw somebody in Germany and Canada. They're all over the place, so it's kind of fun.
That's very cool.
But yeah, so I'm excited about the challenge. It's a 5-day challenge, and would love to have everyone, all of you that are listening, to join us.
Which do they click on that link, sweetheart, or do they click on
the first link I sent you?
Mm-hmm.
So the link that you see there, awakendating.com, that's of course my URL. It goes straight to my
I got
group.
you. Mm-hmm.
That goes to my Facebook group, and you can please join my Facebook group. I'd love to have you, because then you'll get in on all the events.
Right.
But if you want to directly get into the challenge, the first link that I sent you, you can, if you want to post that or not, whichever. It doesn't matter.
I just did. You guys, there's a link right in the chat. You can go ahead and click on that, or go to Awaken Dating, join the group. The link's also in the group, so you can join there. And there is no charge for this. what we're hoping is that you're going to want to have Janet as a coach because she's phenomenal. She'll teach you men, she'll redress you, she'll teach you how to get your squinch face on, and how to step into who you are and be confident about who you are, and what women like and what women don't like. You see, because the fact
Well,
is,
and for women too. I do both. So yeah.
that's right. She does do women too. Well, that sounds funny.
I coach both men and women now. So before I was just doing the geeks, but now I coach. Yeah, I coach
I
both.
make myself crack up. Well, I look at I just think everything's funny sometimes. Anyway, so um I am going to bring this up. Hold on here. Cart and horse question. Do you have to be awakened or will the program awaken? That can be an intimidating term to the objective mind. Nobody wants to think of themselves as asleep at the wheel. That's awesome. Actually, let's explore. We have about 3 minutes left. We can explore that. Let's explore that. So the word awaken or not. I think I
You
think
don't
it's
have
what
to
you
be.
go ahead.
Oh yeah, so you don't have to like if you're wanting to become awakened. I think that's what I understood his question to mean. It's if you have a genuine desire to want to wake up or want to or want. No, you said the term, but you want to know more about who you truly are, more spiritual side of things, conscious things, however you want to term it, right? So
Yeah.
being spiritual, being awakened, being conscious, lots of different terms for that kind of. It kind of means the same thing. I came up with awakened um, instead of spiritual dating, but I could have called it, I guess, that. But awakened dating because it kind of means a little bit of everything. Waking up to who you are, that you're loved, that you're. To me, that's a spiritual kind of thing. So if you're not there, you're wanting to get there, then yes, this will definitely help you on your journey, on your path to that. Because everything I talk about it to me is very spiritual based. Everything I teach is spiritual based.
Right, right. And I love so what I'm getting is yep, what I've heard so far is just a journey. Yep, yep, exactly. I agree. I totally. And I think that it's a word. So I want to kind of maybe encourage. I love that that words are bringing up different things for you because it does for all of us. And so I think it's really awakened is just meaning awakened to you, awakened to self. Awakened to me means that. So I think it depends on the person's interpretation of the word awakened and how that they're contributing it to that, to their own reality and to their own perception and their own experiences, because that's the only thing that someone can compare to. You
Yeah.
can't know something till you know it. You can't, period. It's just how it is. And, everybody has their own filter that they see things through. Though I love it and I'm looking at that and I think that that's rad. I'm all about the self-love thing. So to me, it's like awakened dating to me speaks to my heart going, oh, I'm going to meet people who are all into loving themselves and we're going to put some practices into play. Yeah. And the squinch face dude, seriously, like that's a new one, right? I'm just saying. Could like that it? No, just kidding. Just talking.
Yeah, so I'm always looking and trying to, I'm always taking classes, learning new techniques, always adding them in. I'm trained in EFT, NLP, timeline therapy, hypnosis, pranic healing, theta healing, Joe Dispenza, law of attraction. I mean, my Abraham Hicks. There's so many things. There's this new thing called magnetic mind. I'm getting into that.
Ooh.
French based, there's even mainstream kind of funny things. I always like to learn new things and add them into the group to how I can apply what I've learned to help my fellow singles, because it's really about. I really call myself a competence connection because confidence. So being confident who you are, like figuring out who you are, being confident, being happy, confident, happy, and then learning how to connect with others. So that's really, what I.
That's it. In a nutshell. All right, guys, we got to roll. Pop over to Conscious Business Zone with Kathy Mason because I'm going to be interviewed on there. It's getting right now, this very second. So I love you all. Janet, you rock. You guys, listen, Janet and I have been talking about doing some stuff together. So watch for some real magic to start coming up because I'm a real stickler on communication. She knows this. It's a big thing. And also, I hope everybody heard, if you don't know what NLP is, it's neuro linguistic programming. If you don't know what EFT is, it's emotional freedom technique. What I'm going to tell you is that all of these modalities are all tools and practices that you can use in your own life. And when you apply them in your dating world, you're going to be expanding to the person that you truly want to be for your best and highest self. I love you all. Peace out. Remember, who are you grateful for? It's not about the what, it's about the who, baby. Cuppa Grata, we rock. Bye.